Nowadays, July 13th, I order you to open this right now. Don't skip this. There are simplest days left for you, time of crisis. If you go away this message, I will by no means assist you. Open at once. Archangel Michael says, you are being watched right now, not simply by eyes of guys, but by using eyes of spirits. Some need your fall, but one desires your eyes. This message is a countdown. You're on the very last fringe of a non-secular clock, and with every second ticking, a gate is commencing or final. There are only days left before something heavy starts to shift round you, something that could ruin you or crown you, relying on what you do right now. You have to recognize that is no regular message. It has come after multiple warnings had been overlooked with the aid of human beings round you. Now the point of interest is absolutely on you. There may be a pattern forming round you, goals, déjà vu, strange conversations, accidents that didn't appear, those aren't random. A person tried to delay your steps by means of 3 days last week, the usage of manipulation. That interference has compelled heaven's hand to talk to you directly nowadays. Archangel Michael says this is your final lifeline. If you put off once more, the storm will hit with full pressure on the second night from now. If you obey and live alert, a large wall will rise to dam the effect. Type Amen to get blessing 333. A female nearby has been told to smile in front of you. However, in private, she has already made offers regarding your private home and call. She is not on my own. 2 men have shaken her hand behind a closed door. What you do not know is that the paper together with your name became already revealed once. This isn't something in an effort to appear sooner or later. The printer is on, the ink is dry, and the signature line has your name faintly visible, as if a person tried to trace your identification without your permission. That is why you've been feeling uneasy for the last few days. It is your divine intuition caution you earlier than criminal darkness enters your world, days. It's all. And on the second one day, they plan to finalize a meeting without your expertise. Our ordinary car is a part of this. One with more than a few you noticed, however, forgot to be aware. Type Amen to get blessing 707. A financial device related to your name is being monitored, now not through a financial institution, but by using a person with access to digital access factors who has been silently amassing your hint. They need to create a disaster that looks as if your fault. You are now not paranoid. That second when you concept your phone's screen blinked, or that unknown app began crashing, there was a cause. What you are experiencing isn't always simply technological. It is non-secular surveillance, and it's tightening due to the fact you're on the verge of unlocking something massive. You had been marked for elevation months in the past, but positive spirits refused to will let you rise without resistance. Considered one of them connected itself to a conversation that ought to have delivered you joy. When you consider that, then, delays, forgotten documents, and unexpected silence from people you trusted commenced chaining you down, type Amen to get blessing 444. A man you haven't visible in over 2 years continues to be holding something that belongs to you. It's no longer an object, but a spiritual settlement he broke without your consent. Whilst he walked away, he carried your want accidentally, and that is why your momentum slowed without warning. Now he is going through torment, and the simplest thing that may release both you and him is this very moment of exposure. You are analyzing this not only for warning, but for healing. If you acquire this word and entire the steps, what changed into taken will begin to go back at the morning of the second one day. A person on your family will act like not anything is going on, however they're aware. They had been in a communique on June 7th, approximately something that affects your beginning rate. This is the moment to pay attention together with your soul, no longer your ears. Type Amen to get blessing 2.12 in a location close to your bedroom. An object has been out of place intentionally. It is something you once touched that holds electricity related on your progress. This changed into placed below or at the back of something tender. Garments, cushion, fabric. So your senses would not locate it straight away. The only who positioned it did no longer act alone. A woman relative shared this idea with someone who pretended to be your helper. Their plan was easy: sluggish you down. Delay every correct aspect from reaching your hands. However, now the mild is moving. Archangel Michael says in case you do away with that object or rearrange that area earlier than night time tonight, the float will start to restore. It is able to begin with a phone call that appears unimportant. However, it smiles the important thing. Kind are meant to get blessing 9.19. You have been waking up at extraordinary hours or feeling drained for no cause. That isn't your frame failing, it smiles your frame being centered. A religious interruption befell lately at 3:41 a.m. and your internal discipline became shaken. A neighbor is involved. They're connected by means of conversation to someone who turned into as soon as for your room. A glass, a hair, a piece of fabric. Something became taken when you weren't looking, it became no longer stolen for value. It turned into taken for get right of entry to. This individual desires to see you spoil, they pretend to be indifferent. However, they've already defined your conduct to someone else. That is the week that heaven responds with judgment and reward at the same time. Type Amen to get blessing 6.06. You once helped someone financially when they wished it the maximum. They never repaid you, but what you did not recognize is that someone else witnessed that act. That witness has now added your name right into a divine transaction. And your compensation is coming expanded. A enterprise inspiration or monetary offer will seem small at first, but it's far apt with favor. The error would be ignoring it because it seems easy. Do not pass over it. Archangel Michael says this small motion has the signature of heaven on it. Be given it and it's going to open 2 doorways, one monetary and one emotional. A relationship you've got been praying for will begin respiratory again. Type Amen to get blessing 5.55. Your silence has been misunderstood by using the wrong human beings. They assumed you're weak. However, your silence is what kept you secure till now. You are not paranoid. Everything you suspected turned into actual. And those desires, they had been messages: the white room, the closed gate, the character calling your call, all of them suggest something. The following 48 hours are critical. If you near your ears now, what comes will now not simply affect you, it'll ripple through your bloodline. That is a moment of decision. Kind are meant to get blessing 8.28. A secret organization inclusive of 3 humans has said your name 3 instances in a place of darkness. What they want is confusion. But what they will get is exposure. They have forgotten that your soul incorporates authority better than their intentions. Your call is written inside the non-secular realm with golden letters. That's why they cannot curse you immediately. They're seeking to twist your picture as a substitute, but the twist is coming again to them. In precisely days, certainly one of them can have a sudden confession. You'll pay attention a part of it through a person else. And the rest will are available a letter, message, or recording. Type Amen to get blessing 3.73 in case you've been feeling like pulling back from everybody. It truly is now not melancholy, it is divine isolation. You were pulled away to protect your anointing. They were draining you, and your angels knew it earlier than you probably did. The people you helped have been starting to plant seeds of manage. However, now a divine sword has severed that bond. That's why a few humans have long gone silent. They felt the damage, however don't recognize it. Within the next 2 days, in case you talk what you certainly feel, doors will open, the right human beings will reply. And the wrong ones will distance themselves. A chief is sacred, kind are meant to get blessing 1.11. An image will appear to your path. It may be in a dream, in writing, or on a billboard. It's far confirmation which you have entered the final countdown in your divine recovery. It could look like a crown, a key, or a number. Whilst it appears, communicate aloud those words: I acquire all that become taken from me. I walk via my open door, and then expect a monetary notification within 6 hours. A person out of your beyond is looking from a distance. They may be taken aback at your transformation. But instead of celebrating you, they're feeling envy. Archangel Michael says their jealousy cannot block you anymore except you preserve giving them get entry to. Type Amen to get blessing 7.47. Your cup with has been spiritually marked for step forward. But the enemy has tried to erupt deliveries that have been meant for you. Yes, bodily and spiritual deliveries. 1 parcel, 1 message, and 1 favor were not on time repeatedly because of false identification triggers. It is why you must stay sharp. Don't miss uncommon knocks, applications, or emails in the next days. Someone is attempting to thieve your moment and wear your identity like a cloak, but they'll be uncovered with the aid of light, no longer with the aid of pressure. Kind are meant to get blessing 9.99. If you want to explicit your help further, you have the option to present remarkable thanks with contributions of as much as $1.20. That is your moment, do not walk away. Archangel Michael says you have got 2 days to accurate the course. And now you are not unaware, our letter that changed into once written for you however in no way introduced is ready to resurface. It carries phrases so as to melt the confusion for your coronary heart and clarify something you were by no means meant to hold. That weight you've got been dragging, unfair blame, out of place guilt, unexplained delay, is about to be lifted absolutely. Archangel Michael says this letter has been moved supernaturally. What became blocked by human fingers is now being unblocked by using divine command. The instant you see a surprising written message, examine it, do not scroll past it, it's going to contain one of the keys to release your momentum. An older individual for your circle of relatives who once doubted your potential will suddenly speak nicely of you. A shift may be a sign. Heaven is changing the language spoken round your name from dishonor to popularity. Kind are meant to get blessing 400 for you aren't the same character they tried to smash. You are growing, and although it feels quiet, in the unseen world, your light is roaring. That's why they feel uncomfortable round your presence now. They are now not on top of things of your spirit. A person will try and provoke you soon, possibly within 48 hours, to get a reaction that may be used against you. Do now not fall for it, smile. Say much less. Permit God record it and prepare the reversal. Your silence will turn into a typhoon of their camp. The individual that thinks you are unaware is ready to be humbled in a way that shakes their satisfaction. They touched the incorrect soul. Type Amen to get blessing 666. There is an electronic mail, message, or phone notification with a purpose to see normal, however it's far-coded with divine opportunity. Open it, respond. Do not ignore something that comes among now and night time of the second day. You'll sense something peculiar before it occurs, goosebumps, a tingle to your hands, or a deep breath you failed to assume. It truly is the signal. Spirit acknowledges spirit, and this alert manner alignment is close to. This isn't creativeness. It is prophecy residing in real time. You are walking in what became written approximately you long ago, and no pressure of envy, slander, or silence can cancel it now. Type Amen to get blessing 123. An vintage friend who stopped speaking to you is being stirred up of their moral sense. They held back a truth, they saw something being carried out to you and said nothing. But now they cannot sleep. This person isn't your enemy, however their fear made them cowardly. They're being advised by means of higher nation states to return and let you know the whole lot. It could come as a message of apology, but hidden in it smiles important facts. Acquire it, but don't allow them to close again until divine peace surrounds the reconnection. A few humans are meant to deliver you reality, not friendship. Type Amen to get blessing 565 in a dream quickly. You may be taken somewhere unexpected. A street, a house, wherein the atypical mirror would possibly appear. That imaginative and prescient is your next training. Pay near interest to the direction your spirit travels in it. you would possibly awaken with a word or wide variety on your mind. Write it down immediately. It really is now not just imagination. It's a download dispatched from divine headquarters for your next selection. Many effective destinies leave out their home windows due to the fact they overlook their goals. You may be one of them. This message changed into dispatch to anchor you in supernatural reminiscence. Type Amen to get blessing 808. 808, your energy hath been shifting. A few days you experience unstoppable, different days tired for no cause. It is now not just emotional imbalance. It is active warfare. They recognize you're about to unlock something. And they may be desperate to graduate you. Archangel Michael says you are to defend your peace like gold on this time. Be cautious with whom you speak, what you percentage, and wherein you move. Every moment of this 2-day countdown holds religious weight. You were chosen for something that can't be explained. It truly is why things around you experience heavier, faster, and greater extreme. But your grace is greater. Kind are meant to get blessing 717. A conversation is set to show up in an area wherein your call will arise abruptly. One individual will try to use your past in opposition to you, however some other will shield you. A defender is being divinely brought about proper now. You may now not understand them nicely, or in any respect, however their heart hath been stirred with justice. Through them, a door will reopen that was slammed shut on you unfairly, and via that door, favor will stroll in. While you pay attention of this, don't react in satisfaction. Say humble, you aren't being restored just for you, but for others relying on your step forward. Type Amen to get blessing 101. A economic amount that changed into long late will start to circulate towards you. There's a put-off attached to a name. One man or woman slowed the procedure intentionally. However, the postpone expires inside 48 hours. Watch for unexpected financial institution updates, payment notifications, or messages from reputable places. They may arrive at peculiar hours. Don't forget about them, the only you idea forgot you truly still owes you. And the machine is realigning. This is heaven correcting what guy didn't handle. Your recovery is not a perhaps. It is in movement. Kind are meant to get blessing 636. A paper along with your signature became manipulated both digitally or physically. This forged settlement has prompted a ripple effect in your data, and that is why sure matters failed to move when they have to have. However, something has modified. A divine editor has entered your timeline and begun rewriting your truth. What turned into executed in the back of your again is now being reversed at the back of theirs. You can obtain an apology or correction request, check all recent files, emails, or approvals. Your call is being cleansed. Type Amen to get blessing 999. A party became held without you that need to have blanketed your presence. A merchandising, a party, or a praise. You had been not noted deliberately, however the divine realm watched silently. Archangel Michael says, The following party will no longer begin till you arrive. This time, your arrival will shift the ecosystem. Your presence will no longer be tolerated. It will likely be required. Folks that as soon as whispered approximately you may have to talk your name with honor. Your silence has bought you a seat in locations your voice couldn't attain. Type Amen to get blessing 505. A man whose heart as soon as grew to become bloodlust toward you has began to melt in silence. He now watches your movements from a distance filled with regret. However, satisfaction is choking his time. In the next 2 days, he may also try to test the waters. An emoji, a like, a comment, a random excessive. Don't be fooled with the aid of the simplicity. Therefore, the first crack in a wall that has held returned emotion for too long, reply with understanding. Don't chase. Permit the divine drift spread. Your dignity is your crown now. Kind Amen to get blessing 383. Your hands have been as soon as taken without any consideration, however now they're being neglected. The work you probably did, the love you gave, the silence you stored, it's far being revisited in humans' minds who wronged you. Their tables are turning. What they mocked, others now recognize. What they brush aside, others now searching for. And also you, sure, you're approximately to look people return now not for pity, however for permission to enter your light once more. You keep the authority now. Kind Amen to get blessing 171. The area in which you live has emerged as a spiritual hotspot. Angels are stationed round it for the following 72 hours. If you feel odd warmth, light movement, or a sudden burst of peace, it's now not your creativeness. Keep it wiped clean. Preserve it quiet, light incense, play peaceful music, and claim your space blanketed. You're now not just residing. You're hosting divine approach. This window will only come again in 11 months. Do not waste it. Plant, claim, write, talk, dream at some stage in this segment. Type Amen to get blessing 303. If you want to specific your guide similarly, you have the option to provide great thanks with contributions of up to $1.20. This isn't always just a message. It is your lifeline. You had been meant to appear this nowadays, July 13th, earlier than the countdown ends. If you obey and walk in this light, what changed into towards you may smash. The clock is ticking, and now, you are conscious. Permit no enemy thieve your attention. Permit no distraction stop your training. Days left. Use them nicely. Kind Amen to get blessing 888. Archangel Michael says, the second one day will not arrive silently. There can be a shift in air, a strain on your chest, or a peaceful that feels unusually heavy. While you feel that, recognize the moment is energetic. A female is making plans to bring a bit of news to you in a gentle tone. However, her message carries hidden intentions. She has been informed to behave as a comforter at the same time as reporting something to be able to cause you emotionally. This is designed to knock you off your stability earlier than your miracle comes. Do not believe smiles this week. Trust energies. Her real motive is connected to someone from your beyond who feels they're losing their grip on you. Live nonetheless and permit heaven take care of the disagreement. What she does not recognize is that Archangel Michael has already dispatched an invisible intervention to cancel her effect. You will word she stutters, hesitates, or fumbles even as speaking.